love back to school season, so today we're gonna make some cozy vegan recipes that you can have for breakfast, pack in your lunchbox, or enjoy as an afternoon treat. Thank you to Lechia for teaming up with me, and let's get started with these cozy fall recipes. I've been so excited to share these apple butter muffins with you because they are seriously competing for top spot. I really like my pumpkin muffins as well, and that's one of the most made recipes on my blog, but these are really good and they have such a good texture. So I'm gonna start with the dry ingredients. I measure out the flour, and then I'm gonna add baking powder and baking soda. This full recipe is gonna be in the description box below. You don't have to sift your leaveners, but I do like to because as you can see, baking soda tends to get a little bit clumpy. Then I'm gonna add cinnamon, ginger, and allspice, and I like to do just a little pinch of cloves too because it's so good with the apples. Some salt will balance out the flavors, and I'm just gonna whisk that together, and that's it. Then I'll mix my wet ingredients. I've got regular sugar, brown sugar, and unsweetened applesauce, and the star of the show, apple butter, which is actually made completely from apples despite the name. And then we'll do some vinegar, coconut oil, and plant milk. I went for a flax and chia milk, and this one is no sugar added, and it's really nice for baking as well, especially if you want to use a plant milk that doesn't have nuts. Then I'm gonna mix this all together, and whenever I'm making baked goods, I really like to focus on whisking the wet ingredients really well. So I do that for about a minute so you get this great fluffy texture in the muffins. But when I add the dry ingredients, I just do half at a time and I only whisk until combined. You don't want to over whisk at that stage. Then we're just gonna bake, and you can definitely bake these as is. They're delicious on their own, or you could top with some walnuts or pecans, but I really like adding a streusel topping. This is just flour, sugar, and vegan butter, and you kind of crumble it up and put it right on top, and it creates this really delicious kind of coffee house pastry style muffin that is so good. And these are perfect for the mornings when you're busy, you're trying to get out the door, go to school. You can pack these up in your lunchbox, and because they're super moist and delicious, they're gonna be really, really nice, like even a couple days later. So they're great for meal prep. You can freeze and reheat them. Just pop them in the microwave or the toaster oven to reheat them, and they are so, so good. The streusel topping on top is just such a nice touch. It has that like cozy fall coffee shop kind of feel to it. It's cinnamony, you get a little brown sugar, a little bit of that spiciness from the ginger and the clove. There's just something about that combination with the warming spices and the apple, and then that really nice like buttery kind of salty sweet streusel topping that just makes it taste like a cozy coffee house treat that you can make at home. So I hope you guys enjoy this recipe. I really, really love it. You might have seen Lechia at Walmart, on Amazon, or on Instagram, but the macadamia nut flavor is my personal favorite from the range, and I really like it on cereal. So I'll do like crunchy cereal, a handful of berries, usually some kind of nut or seed like walnuts or pumpkin seeds, and then I like to do a drizzle of almond butter or tahini on top, and then the super cold macadamia nut milk, and I just love that combination. I get the unsweetened flavor, and I like that it has this subtle macadamia nut flavor in the background. It's also really good in oatmeal in the morning, but the milk itself is nice and smooth and creamy, but not thick or heavy, which I really like, especially for cereal. It's organic. It has 3 grams of fiber per serving, which is really unique for a plant milk. It's also a good source of calcium and omega-3s, and it's carrageenan free. And this time of year, I like to make London Fogs, which is a cozy drink that is a really good like after school or after work pick-me-up. I just brew some Earl Grey tea. I warm up the macadamia nut milk and I whisk it with a little frother. It gets really nice and frothy. Pour that on top with a little sprinkle of cinnamon, and it is super, super cozy. So if you guys want to try Lechia, there's a 20% off coupon code in the description box below. Just click that link, use the code at checkout, and you'll get 20% off. These vegan vanilla pudding cups are so nostalgic, and you can meal prep the pudding part ahead of time and have this as an after school treat or a little mid-study break pick-me-up. I'm going to use macadamia nut milk for this, and I'm going to create a slurry, which is just a combination of a splash of milk with some cornstarch and flour. I'll add that to the macadamia nut milk along with some sugar and bring this to a simmer. As this bubbles on the stove for just a couple of minutes, you're going to want to whisk it and it will thicken before your eyes. I'll finish this with a pat of vegan butter and some vanilla and let this set in the fridge. I usually do this overnight, and then when I'm ready to serve, I'll top it. I like to do kind of like banana cream pie style, so I do banana slices, and I love doing Biscoff cookies or speculoos cookies. These are totally vegan and they have a graham crackery flavor, but a lot of graham crackers aren't vegan because they have honey. So this is pretty much that same flavor profile, but I like it even better because it has has like cinnamon and some warming spices for extra flavor. So just crush those up and sprinkle a generous layer of the cookies on top, as well as a nice dollop of vegan whipped cream. I absolutely love the combination of the vegan whipped cream with the vanilla pudding. It's just so creamy and decadent. And I like to do a double layer of the bananas, cookies, and whipped cream just for oohs and ahs. It's really fun to impress your non-vegan friends and family with this recipe because it's so good and it looks beautiful. And like I said, it's super nostalgic. You gotta stick a cookie on top so that you can like dip the cookie, you know? I love how the vanilla pudding is like super silky and smooth. That little sweetness of the banana and then the crunchy cookie that has just a touch of saltiness and like a touch of spices that really kind of brings everything together. I even think maybe next time I would do some cookie crumbles on the bottom just for like even more cookie goodness. But the banana and the cookies just like really takes it over the top. And you could also do, if you don't like sweet, you want more like raspberry kind of tart freshness. I love berries and whipped cream with vanilla. So strawberries, raspberries, blueberries also would be really good. I get creative, but I think if you love banana cream pie and you've been kind of missing that like old school vanilla pudding, like old fashioned dessert, you can still definitely have it, but without the animal products. If you want to see some packed lunch recipes for back to school, I linked a playlist in the description box below with over 20 back to school lunch recipe videos to help give you some good ideas. That will be in the description box, as well as the link and the code to try Lechia, so definitely check that out, and I will see you guys in a video very soon.